Let's take a listen to what I think under any circumstances was an unusual attack from the White House podium against the former FBI director by Sarah Sanders this week.
The American people see right through the blatant lies of a self-admitted leaker. This is nothing more than a poorly executed PR stunt by Comey to desperately rehabilitate his tattered reputation and enrich his own bank account by peddling a book that belongs in the bargain bin of the fiction section. One of the president's greatest achievements will go down as firing Director James Comey.
What do you think?
I tend to agree with everything she said.
Appropriate to be?
I agree with everything she said. I'm not sure it should be said from the White House press room. But look, I think everything she said is substantively correct. I mean, this is a book of someone that has provided no light at all from everything all the excerpts that we've heard, no light into anything that actually happened. This is a man who's a narcissist who's gone out to try to attack this president. I mean, I saw your previous clip where he was talking about, well, I don't know whether he really did this thing with the folks in. I mean, this is just salacious and all designed to undermine this president, who he has obviously a bone to pick with. This is. Undermine. You want to talk about undermining the FBI? James Comey, tell-all and frankly tell-nothing book does more to undermine the FBI than anything.
Governor?
16% of America. There are 16% more Americans who believe Comey than the president. So we'll see how it comes out. You and I have not read the book because it's not out yet.
Right.
And believe me, I can hold two things in my mind at once, which is not to agree with Comey on how he handled the Hillary Clinton emails, but also to say this man has given his life in service, and nobody other than this president has been calling, and his followers have been calling him a liar and a slime ball.
The Hillary Clinton email was not the only problem that James Comey had. This is a serial problem, guys.
Do you take issue with what Sarah Sanders said, what Senator Santorum says?
I certainly take issue with saying it from the White House. I mean, that's if the RNC wants to put up a webpage, which they have, attacking James Comey in pretty astonishingly sort of personal and nasty terms. I suppose the RNC can do that. Every donor to the Republican National Committee needs to think about if that's how they want their money spent, instead of helping congressional and Senate candidates around the country. But look, I think it's not about Comey, honestly, at this point. It really is about Mueller. And I do think Republicans need to stand up and say, let the investigation go forward. Don't mess around with the Justice Department. For me, that's key.
Yeah. I mean, I thought
some have.
A few have. I thought President Trump's voice was going to come out of Sanders' mouth at some point. I mean, that was a bit much to come from the president.
But wait a second. Can we just go back to this? When you say most Republicans have stood up, that is not true. Jeff Flake has stood up, and there are a couple of others. Where is Paul Ryan?
What's interesting, though, is in the polls, actually,
there's a whole bunch.
Just some have begun to in the last week or two.
But they're not putting forward.
And they may be marking up this bill, a bipartisan bill, this week. So let's see what happens. A majority of Republicans in polls want the Mueller investigation to be completed. So hopefully Republican members of Congress will listen to that.
Get a spine, I hope.
The president's favorite channel, Fox News Channel, a lot of their personalities there have been attacking Comey, attacking Mueller. Take a listen.
Last but not least, we have one other crime family we want to tell you about. And, well, this is near and dear to Comey's heart. We'll call it the Comey crime family. He loves this analogy. Let's stay with it.
I think he's really diminished the credibility of the FBI. He botched 2 investigations, the Hillary and the Trump investigation, and he's now really muddying the waters with the Mueller investigation.
Look, it has to be said that James Comey appointed Patrick Fitzgerald, who was the man who prosecuted Scudo Libri. So you can say this was about the Michael Cohen situation. It also might be about the James Comey situation. It adds to the line of inappropriate activities of James Comey. What Patrick Fitzgerald did with the Libya investigation, I'm sure Bill would agree with, was outrageous.
Okay, but
and it shows,
come on, Rick.
it shows the abuse of a special
crime
prosecutor.
Family. I mean, but what you're suggesting...
I'm not defending Sean Hannity's crime family. I'm just saying that there is a connection between James Comey and Patrick Fitzgerald.
Well, Comey was a deputy attorney general in the Bush administration, and he appointed a special counsel to investigate
who did a horrible job and a scandalous job, in my option. And Patrick Fitzgerald. I mean, he prosecuted a man he knew wasn't guilty of the crime that he was being prosecuted for.
Last word, Jen.
I hope and I believe, Rick, that you are making a distinction here between Mueller, Rosenstein, and Comey, because what the president is doing is to pull them all together.
I understand that. I understand.